Hey, what's up? I'm Fanboy Philly, and welcome to Fanboy Philly Reviews. Today, I'll be telling you all my all-time favorite Christmas movies. We all have our favorites and our least favorites, but we have all seen probably thousands of Christmas movies throughout our lives. This is just a brief sample of what I like as far as Christmas movies. It's a Wonderful Life is probably one of the earliest Christmas movies I'd seen since my parents watched it almost every year. The original story of how things would be if you didn't exist and how that would affect the world around you. I've always liked this film because we all at one point had our questions of this, so it's very relatable. The Santa Claus movies were fun and had a great story that continued with each installment of the franchise. Tim Allen was super at donning the red outfit and the fat suit and the makeup, and he didn't become Santa Claus. But he became someone who was learning how to be Santa Claus over time. So the suit did not make him Santa Claus. He had to learn it. The Home Alone franchise was a good original story about being left alone and figuring out how to keep your home safe. Macaulay Culkin quickly rose to fame in this and brought the story to life. And you have to wonder, after all these years, could anybody else have done a better job than Macaulay Culkin as the kid? I don't know. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is one of that is probably on everyone's list who has ever seen it. I just watched this last night with my family, and my nephew and niece had never seen it before. They questioned whenever anything abnormal or goofy would happen and how unrealistic it was. We explained to them that that's what made it so fun, and that's what National Lampoon was about. The zany craziness of it all. The gags and jokes in this are fun and make this a great escapism movie. How the Grinch Stole Christmas is a true holiday classic, whether you're looking at the book or the two trips to the screen. The cartoon version is short and true to the children's book, but when they made it for the big screen, Jim Carrey brought energy and so much life into the character, and he embodied the Grinch in a way that I don't think anyone ever could duplicate or even come close to. I'm not a big fan of a lot of what Will Ferrell does, but Elf is definitely a standout as one of his best movies in my opinion. The story of a human being raised by elves until he becomes so big and out of place, he learns the truth about the family he came from, and he travels to New York to meet his birth father. The character of Buddy the elf, again, is original, and the supporting actors blend in real well with the experience of James Caan as his father, and Zoe Deschanel as his love interest was amazing, and we found out she also has a great singing voice. A Christmas Story is a movie that has a special hold on me since the first time I saw it. And as I said in a previous video, I watched this movie multiple times a year. On Christmas Day, multiple times a day. It's not just a holiday classic, it's a masterpiece of childhood innocence and wonder, and watching it as a child was very relatable. All the characters bring it together to make it a great story to enjoy. The next entry in this is A Christmas Carol. I've watched probably every remake of this, and we all know by now the story of it. But I'm not going to talk about. But I'm just going to talk about my favorite ones. First, there's the Reginald Owen and Gene Lockhart one that I have watched every year for as long as I have memory on back on Family Classics on WGN in Chicago, was where I used to watch it when I was a kid. This movie is not just a classic, but also a treasure to anyone who has seen it since back in the day. But before that, there was Alistair Sim playing Scrooge. It was the original and still good, but not like any that came after it. Mickey's A Christmas Carol was one of my favorites when I was very little, and it introduced Scrooge McDuck as Ebenezer Scrooge, with Mickey being Bob Cratchit. Bill Murray starred in Scrooge, a modern version of the story, as a network executive producing a stage version of the story, and he is visited by spirits trying to reawaken him, much as they did Scrooge, because, much like Scrooge, he grew up to hate Christmas. Patrick Stewart made an excellent Ebenezer Scrooge back in 1999, and he gave it a charm and he was the British miser most convincingly. George C. Scott was great as Ebenezer Scrooge in 1984. Jim Carrey and Tim Curry both voiced animated versions, and both delivered very well as the old Skinflint. And they were fun and amusing. Kelsey Grammer and Albert Finney both had a turn at musical versions of the character, and these were also very, very fun. Probably one of my most favorite versions of the story was The Muppets Christmas Carol. Michael Caine playing Scrooge, Kermit the Frog as Bob Cratchit. All-time great. Movies are great, and Christmas movies are fun. And there are so many more Christmas movies than I have named that I love. We could go on and on forever. So I'm stopping with these that are my favorites. Thank you for joining me, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the show, hit that like button. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you'll know whenever more reviews are available. And if you have a movie you want me to review, please leave it in the comments down below. As I want to see not just what I want to see, but I want to see what you're interested in as well. And also in the comments, let me know what your favorite Christmas movies are. And as always, take care of yourselves. Be good to the ones you love. Have a Merry, Merry Christmas. And I'll catch you later.